Hello, dear viewers. Thank you so much for joining me today. Well, today I'd like to read on crypto and the US stock market. Now, this is what's difficult about these readings. Tarot is not known for timing. That's what's tough about that. But you know what? When we keep it simple, let's just see what the universe says. Oh, this flew out. Tower. Okay. I feel like that's almost saying, there's another tower event always that will pack a punch, right? To the stock market, to crypto, to whatever you want to invest in. But maybe the cards will tell us more about that. All right. So, first of all, the stock market, U.S. stock market, which has, it had that decline. 2022, and it's been sort of gradually recovering mostly through 2023, but then back again. You know what I mean? It's not been like, it's not flying high or anything. So what does it hasn't attained its pre-pandemic kind of trajectory, I guess. So let's see. There are many factors. People are, the market tries to price in what's coming down the pike in the next 6 months. And so the question then is, has it priced everything in? Because we are going to have more personal bankruptcies, more people are maxing out their credit cards in the US. We are going to have more car repossessions. That's already begun to increase. So how big of an effect does that have? Inflation, that was just the cumulative effect of inflation here. And, many people were able to get into different work that did make more because there has been wage growth too. Hasn't kept up with inflation, but it just sort of depends upon where you look. So some people have been able to increase their earnings. Not everybody though. So what effect does that, let me start with that. What effect does that have on the US stock market? Less consumer consumption, right? And bankruptcies, greater bankruptcies. Already we have Citigroup laying off a bunch of people today. The credit card companies. So show us what's going on, first of all, banking, credit card companies in the next few months. Yeah, they have a plan. Okay, this is King of Swords. That means they are planning for this. That means they are trying to, okay, layoffs are sort of preventative. They're sort of like, we're looking at this. We've been looking at this. This is not something new to us. Okay, that's one good thing. 3 of Cups. So I don't feel like in the next few months it's going to be a problem according to these cards. Not in the next few months. But it's almost like there's something lingering over their shoulder though, right? But yet it's not terrific. They're not doing great, but it's not devastating. And then we're going to have more in the news about people's bankruptcies and things like that. And more concern growing about banks, credit card companies, things like that. Okay, what about in the summer? More like in the summer of 2024. What about that? See, there's a tower. Okay, so perhaps we are seeing a flashpoint that does indeed affect stock market value of these kinds of assets. 3 of Swords, but it's not anything too new, right? Because already we had some banks closed down already in 2023. I think that too was in the summer. So, it's not something entirely new. It's not going to be something entirely unexpected. So I don't know that so are you saying the market recovers? 9 of Coins, people are still wanting to spend. New beginning. Okay. I almost wonder if that means that there is going to be a setback there, but the new beginning. I wonder if that is about the Fed beginning to cut interest rates. See, they've had to increase interest rates, and that affects, people willing to buy homes or anything on credit. That affects people's credit card debt. Apparently, it has a cumulative effect. Once they increase the federal interest rate, it has an accumulative sort of lagging effect on the economy. But it has been successful, right? They have decreased inflation quite a lot. I think 4%. Of course, people would argue that that's not their measurement of inflation is not terrific. It leaves out some important things. And also people would say, okay, that's fine and good, but what about that doesn't get rid of the price increases that have already occurred. They'll continue at that price and maybe a little bit more. So, there's that. But all the Fed wanted to do was get inflation back to 2%. So maybe this is saying if there's a crisis somewhere around the next summer, 2024, and the Fed then does indeed come in and slash interest rates, as the stock market is expecting it will do, that sort of saves the stocks of the banks and such. Is that what we're hearing? We're hearing big business finds a way to win, right? This is corporate big business greed, going to win at any cost. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing there. Okay, so the stock market how's it looking then, say in 2024? New possibilities. Okay, I don't think it's looking bad then after that setback. I think probably it will look good with more invested. I want to say, what about the American people? What about the American people, though? Because this issue with consumer debt and so many people sitting on credit card balances now at a high rate of interest. What about the American people? How are they doing in 2024? Oh, Lord. So we get the 5 of coins, the homeless card. So there are going to be more people really suffering. And I've seen this card a lot, actually, over the last few years. So this is not new. But we are going to see more of that. It's a little murky. In other words, I feel like month to month we'll know. I feel like that's saying it's a little murky because it just depends, right? What position are you in? What industry do you work for? Because again, through these last few years and through COVID and the recovery from this, we have seen a weird situation where some areas of the market are hit very hard. Some jobs are hit very hard, and then others have booms. So I feel like that kind of thing continues. That's what I get from the moon card. Yep. And the high priestess just validates that. Like it's going to be a complicated picture. What is the advice for U.S. citizens? We have, and those who also need the U.S. economy to go well, which are a lot of economies, we have the 9 of coins. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life. 7 of coins, 7 of cups. Don't let the uncertainty about the future bother you too much, and be aware that there is going to be false narratives that are pushed here with this 7 of cups. You see that as well. So let's see. Lover's card. In partnership with. Okay, that to me is when politics and government come together. So I think that 2024 is an election year, right? So the powers that be may want to try to keep things as stable as possible. In other words, there may be aid coming in, there may be assistance coming in, or kind of stimulus checks or child tax credits, something coming in 2024, more than likely. So that's what we've got. It looks to me like for the people, it's a continuation of what has been. Yeah, which isn't great because there are more and more people homeless. So that's what we see. But we do see maybe some programs, maybe some aid increasing. Okay. All right. Well, I looked at that. I want to look at crypto. So now cryptocurrency is a weird thing because a lot of these, it's an emerging kind of technology, really, and they're still working on ways for a lot of the altcoins, that means alternative to Bitcoin, to be useful, to have useful applications. And there are some, but not nearly what there needs to be in the future. And Bitcoin is a completely different thing because it was meant, it's a program, and it was meant to be anti-inflationary. In other words, Bitcoin are mined and they are produced at a certain level, and there will only be so many, is it 21 million? And there will never be more than that. And there's a halving event where the miners are making half the number of Bitcoin they were before. That occurs every 4 years. And that is what runs the Bitcoin cycle. And then the alternative cryptocurrencies tend to reflect what's going on with Bitcoin. So, of course, Bitcoin went up, it crashed down. This is what it does every 4 years. This last time it crashed down a little more. This last time it didn't go up as much as, exponentially as I don't even want to use that word. It didn't go up at the same percentage as the cycle before. And this kind of thing is projected to continue. It's a maturing asset, diminishing returns. But then again, also diminishing volatility, maybe. So that's Bitcoin. And now Bitcoin has been in crypto winter, and the cryptocurrencies, they've had troubles. And you had Sam Bankman-Fried, corruption galore. He's going to sit in prison for a long, long, long time because he was using customer funds to just gamble. And so we also have the SEC trying to figure out how to regulate this. And, it's something else. This is a high-risk asset. Okay, I've said this every time I bring up crypto. High-risk asset. Don't invest what you can't afford to lose. Okay. However, if this cycle goes as previous cycles have gone, coming out of crypto winter, probably in crypto spring, right? And people are entering the market again. And Bitcoin has increased like 100% in this year, in 2023, because it started out pretty bad, pretty low. So, yeah. I mean, there's money to be made there, right? So people are coming into the market. I kind of want to see what's going on here. Can we expect something similar as the last cycle? We have the 10 of Wands. It's burdensome. The ups and downs of it. Like, don't think it's going to go in a straight line. Let's see, what else? That to me means also that regulations, scares of regulations may come in too through it. See, this happens in the crypto world. There's a headline about regulation, a headline about regulating that, and all of a sudden this one coin goes down to, very low, and it's like that. So it looks like, I feel like things like that might continue. Okay, and that will affect this cycle. We have the Queen of Wands also. Yeah, I mean, this can be Biden's administration, Democratic administration. Is that what that is? Page of Wands reversed. So, yeah, I don't know. I think so. I think I'm getting that, they really do want to regulate this much better. So we are going to hear more about regulations that could impact crypto, that will impact the crypto this cycle. Last cycle, a lot of the altcoins, they just blew up so quickly to values that were just tremendously overvalued for their use applications. Not to say that this technology isn't important and valuable. It is. And I do believe this blockchain technology is being and will definitely be incorporated into a lot of kinds of companies. But it looks like we're going to have volatility. Okay, let's see. 4 of coins, 10 of coins. However, there are a lot of there are some Republican lawmakers who really want to, they're always in favor of less regulation on business, right? And they have a voice too. So we have the Chariot. So at some point, yeah, it does suddenly take off. Yeah. So I think I hear similar to previous cycles, but maybe there's more weird, unpredicted setbacks based on rumors of regulations or headlines about regulations. So that could be. Yet I get this strong sense like there will be, still there will be plenty of altcoins that really, this is why it's attractive, because sometimes people, there are ways, sometimes these altcoins 100x, they gain 100 times their initial value. And so this is why, right? It's very appealing to people. Oh my gosh, I could 10x my money. I could 100x my money. And that's what occurred during the last cycle. If people sold, if they sold at the top or near the top, if they sold. If they didn't, they wrote it all the way back down. So that's how that goes. So, for instance, if you don't know, Solana is the altcoin that Sam Bankman-Fried's company had a lot of. And, it started very low, of course, cents on the dollar, then dollars, and it went up to $260 and a Solana coin this last cycle. 260, I believe. And then because of the Sam Bankman-Fried, all those headlines and how terrible, even though it was the blockchain that was the second most popular to the most popular one, which is Ethereum. So it had the second most applications developed on top of it. It went all the way back down to something like $10 a Solana at one point. So think about that, from 260 to 10. Now it's back up to 60 a coin. So that's an illustration. And then people guessing that it could go on up to 500. So that's an illustration I'm giving to explain how some of the crypto investment has gone. Okay, and with that context, so does it look like there will be much money made in altcoins this cycle? Yeah, it does. Yes, it does. A star card. Okay. All right. So it does look like that. I want to ask, okay, you've got to watch the videos on crypto because a lot of them are just so excited. These people are so excited and they have YouTube channels. And so like before the high point of the last cycle in 2021, or was it early 2022? No, 2021. Before the high point and then the blow off top and then, going down. People were saying it's going to be at the 100,000. It's going to be almost all the YouTube channels were saying it's going to be 100,000. So you watch that because it wasn't. It didn't go that high. What did it do? 69 and then cratered and went all the way down to what, 15,000? So you know what I'm saying? You've got to, don't get sucked in to all the hype. I do like, I will plug Crypto Crew University. He's right. Steve, very sober-minded about it. Really does a lot of mathematics, shows you what to expect. He said it's an asset with diminishing returns. So the blow off top might be 80 grand, this time around. So I do recommend him, looking at him, but just, you really have to sell this stuff. when you're making profits. Sell it bit by bit by bit, right? Okay. So anyway, that's what I'm wanting to tell you, because I think it's only fair. Let's see, but there is hope in making money in this. Okay. Ace of Cups, there's a lot in the background. There is some dirt in the background. This is saying like, okay, don't expect that corruption in the background or shenanigans with the coins, and don't expect that's all done. Okay, then we have Queen of Coins. So we do have some really wealthy, big money investors, okay? And then there's also manipulation, right? Manipulation, people can get so much of an altcoin that they can sell a bunch, dump the price, everybody loses a bunch of money, and then they go in and buy it back real low. That happens too. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups. So, but there is some, there's some good news in this. There's some fun to be had, maybe, but you have to stay very sober-minded. Okay, so that's what I've got. All right. There are some altcoins that will be introduced and become the most popular altcoins of the 2023-2024 bull run, because that's the season we're in prior to the halving, that haven't even been, people don't even know about yet. They'll be introduced and go crazy. So that's what I wanted to look at for crypto. Any advice for us all, Source? And not financial advice. I'm not giving any financial advice, but let's see what the cards say. Okay, it's impossible to tell. They're saying the Moon card. You won't know. It's like one step. Take the next step by your intuition kind of thing. It's, yeah. I think it's like, if you want to invest money that, like I said, you couldn't afford to invest, it might be wise to just leave it be then. Do it and see where it goes. And don't expect to have a clear picture of what this is going to do, so you don't go crazy. That's what I think he's saying. That's what the guide is saying. Okay. We have the High Priestess. Use your intuition, sure, but use your brains too. I mean, this is sort of like, be sober-minded. Be sober-minded, because sometimes intuition can be affected by emotion. Okay. Tower. What's Tower? Some of these, I feel like that is sort of like there are events. There is more volatility, both in stock market and in crypto and in all kinds of investments. And I feel like that's saying even real estate. Yeah, there is, I guess, more volatility. We've seen that for years and years and years. And it looks to me like that continues. So it's almost sort of like the Tower is telling me, be aware that this is going to be part of any investment is volatility. And it doesn't mean you sell off. When the Tower hits, it might be that you buy when the Tower hits. When something tanks a certain asset or market, or, that might be when maybe it is a good idea to try to have some aside where you can buy things when they're very, very low. Because I feel like that's also kind of saying, okay, but more volatility, but yet in the end, things will keep moving up. So that's what I got. All right. Well, thank you all so very, very much. Happy returns, many happy returns and financial blessings for all of you. Amen. Take care. Bye-bye.